Okay, good. So it's time to introduce myself. My name is Kseniia, and I'm a brand ambassador at Snovio. If you know Snovio, type high five in the chat. And if you have never heard about Snovio, I will tell you briefly. So Snovio is a cutting-edge sales platform with a built-in CRM and a comprehensive toolset for lead generation, email verification, and highly personalized email outreach. I would say that it's paradise for salespeople, but you will tell me that I'm too humble. Okay, so before we start our topic, I want to get to know you a little bit closer. And let's check right now how many coffee lovers are here. So I will ask you to type in the chat yes or no if you like coffee. And if you adore coffee, you can send a coffee cup emoji, and it will mean you cannot imagine your life without a cup of coffee. I will wait for your answers, so don't be shy. As I warned you, I need your activity. Personally, I love coffee. And I can say that I can't imagine my life without coffee, but I won't miss an opportunity to drink a cup of coffee. Okay, good. You love coffee. Great. So if you love coffee, I hope that you will love my slides, because I think you already noticed that I have some cute coffee beans emojis. So if you're a coffee lover, you will love my presentation as well. Good. And the other thing that I want to know, do you want to get more clients for your business? Right now, type in the chat yes or send a raised hand emoji, and we will start. So again, I will wait a little bit for your answers. Do you want to get new clients for your business or not? At least one yes, because in other cases, we have no reason for this webinar. I want your yes or raised hand. Okay, anyway, you have no choice. Oh, I see. Yes, you want. That's great. So today's topic is how to generate leads for your business while drinking coffee, being relaxed, and confident that everything just going right. Well, can you drink coffee and generate leads at the same time, enjoying both of the processes? So today I will show you how. And yes, you can. You can enjoy generating leads and drinking coffee at the same time. And we also cover some serious topics as well. For example, we'll dispel some common myths and misconceptions about outbound lead generation. We'll dig deeper into some pitfalls you'd better avoid while generating leads, and discuss other essentials to make your lead generation smooth. And we will start from the basics. We will start with what is lead. So lead is any person that has shown interest or may be interested in your company's service or product, but hasn't bought anything yet. So they may have filled out a form on your website, attended one of your webinars, downloaded one of your white papers, or may be actively looking for a solution to their problem, and you have this solution. But these people do not know yet about your brand, that your brand exists. And it's all in your hands to attract these leads and move them forward towards to a purchase. And this is basically what lead generation is all about. And what is lead generation? Let's make it plain. Lead generation is when you attract prospective clients to your product or service and contact them in order to convert them into paying customers. So lead generation can be of two types, inbound and outbound. And inbound lead generation is the one everyone is familiar with. And outbound, many of you may be afraid of. So now let's look at the difference between these two processes. So inbound lead generation is when you attract potential customers through social media, content sharing, or direct referrals, and encourage them to initiate contact with you directly or through referral channels. Outbound lead generation is when you send emails or messages to your target audience that is potentially interested in your solution. As I've already mentioned, inbound lead generation is way popular than outbound because not everyone dares to try the last one. And now I need your activity a little bit. Now we'll talk a little bit about the most common inbound techniques everyone uses. So right now in the chat, type any activity that comes to your mind or the technique that you love using or that you use, inbound technique, in the chat. So I will wait. Also, if you see that another commenter already mentioned the technique you wanted to write, do not look at it. Type your option, type your variant, because it's important for us. We will look at the most common techniques, and that will be a proof that if their technique is repeated, it means it's commonly used. So, what inbound techniques do you use? I will wait a little bit for your answers. Or you don't use inbound techniques at all? At least one. Ads, SEO, content sharing, social media. What kind of techniques do you use? What kind of techniques do you use to attract leads to your business? 20 more seconds. If you're silent, I will show my list and we will look at it. Okay, I have a shy audience. Okay, great. I can see, cool. Writing a blog, amazing. Social media for sure, great. Thank you guys. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your answers. Okay, we'll make a big pause. I will show you my list. So, most common inbound techniques, ads. I cannot deny that this is one of the most popular, and I hope that no one will argue with me, okay, about it. But this technique has a huge disadvantage. Ads require huge budgets. And what if you're a startup or a small business? Huge budgets on ads is not an option for you. And you still need to remember that competition there is high. Content marketing and SEO, you mentioned that. No doubt, both are very important, but both of them require time, much of your precious time. Social media, powerful, but still time-consuming, and it's quite costly if we talk about ads again. Word of mouth or referrals, great, but you need to have a loyal customer base already. And what if you don't? And even if you do, still you cannot get many clients. So these techniques, the ones that you mentioned in the chat, are all cool and definitely should be the part of your lead generation strategy. But each of them has a certain disadvantage. That is not an option for you if you just start your business, if you're pressed for money and have no time till it all pays off. You need leads now. And at this point, outbound lead generation comes in. And with it come massive misconceptions about it. that can be a real threat for growing your business. And now we will take a look at the most common misconceptions about outbound lead generation. The first one, getting new clients is a long and difficult process. So many people still believe that it's true, that getting new clients is a long and difficult process. You find emails somewhere on the internet or by databases. By the way, we will talk about databases a bit later. Then send emails in the middle of nowhere and sit and wait for a response. Well, it might be like that if we were in the jungle. But now, in the digital world, outbound lead generation can shorten your sales cycle significantly because this is an automated process and you needn't spend much time on tedious manual work. All you need to have is desire to find leads, knowledge of your target audience, ICP, ideal customer profile, and reputable lead gen service. For example, Snovio. How much time does it take? Up to 1 day, sometimes a little bit longer. But here, all the processes included. Finding leads, email campaign setup, receiving a reply from your potential customer and getting them on a call, and even the first purchase. The second misconception is that outbound lead generation requires much money and effort. Well, mistakenly to think that you need to invest much money into expensive email automation softwares or services. Nowadays, there are many tools for small and medium businesses that allow to implement cold email campaigns as a part of lead generation strategy with a very small investment. For example, services like Snovio provide reasonable plans for beginners. And if we compare cost per lead from your ads campaign and cold email campaigns, the difference will be significant. And be sure that leads from your ads will cost way more. And the third misconception is all emails go to spam. Well, not all emails go to spam, and that's the fact. The world knows a lot of examples of successful outreach that resulted in closed deals. But at the same time, I cannot deny that emails may go to spam. But whether it will happen or not directly depends on you. So keep up and you will learn how to avoid it. So these misconceptions prevent you from making money, while other businesses already learned that these are just the delusions and they grow their business with outbound techniques. And the flow is pretty simple. Step 1, get leads. You can build a list of your targeted prospects in a few hours with the help of automated tools. Step 2, verify these leads. The step you cannot avoid or miss because it's essential to check email validity before contacting your prospects, as invalid emails may lead to a high bounce rate, poor sender reputation, and subsequent blocking by email service providers. And step 3, launch a campaign. This step will take more time than the previous ones and may seem the hardest, but in fact, everything is not that complicated as you may think. You do not need to invent sales copies that convert. It has already been done. Email outreach services provide email and campaign templates that you can use and adjust to your needs and goals. Add personalization, your offer, and you're ready to launch your first campaign. And you can do it all in 1 day. But the cherry on the top of this cake is that you can get replies on the same day you launch your campaign. And you will ask me how to do it, how to master this art, how to scale your processes to do it right. We will take a look at some of them. But the thing that I think worth mentioning, before you start generating leads for your business, you need to identify your ideal customer by creating an ideal customer profile or profiles. Without defining your target audience, your lead generation may come to a dead end. Then, before you proceed any further with your cold outreach campaign, make sure you warm up your email account, and here's why. What is email warm up? Email warm up is when you build a positive sender reputation to pass spam filters and achieve perfect inbox placement. Our main goal is to get to the leads' inboxes, where they can see our offer and get in touch with us for further negotiations. And email warm-up help us with it. So before sending an email campaign, no matter how big or small your list is, whether it's 40 emails or 1,000 emails, you need to warm up your email sender account, especially if it's a newly created account. Otherwise, your emails will go to spam, and your potential clients will never see your offer. And even worse, your account can get blocked and blacklisted. So how to warm up your email account? Luckily, you should not do it manually. There are various tools that can automate this process for you. So recently, Snovia team did a research to find out the best warm-up tool that would be easy to use, quickly improve your email deliverability, and of course, be at a reasonable price. So we bought plans from the top email warm-up providers, took our accounts, and started the test in order to compare the parameters, functionality, the level of support, and the how they improve the email deliverability. So email deliverability was checked by the Glock apps before, in the process when we added the stressing factor, and after to check whether the email deliverability would be restored after our spammy behavior. All the email warm-up tools were evaluated according to the set criterion. So right now in the charts, you can see the email deliverability results and the general scores the email warm-up services received in the course of the test. In both cases, results ascend from the lowest up to the highest. As you can see, only 4 warm-up tools out of 9 market leaders have coped with growing email deliverability. They like Snovio, Warmup, Lamworm, and Woodpecker. Unfortunately, the rest did not show good results. Snovia has turned out to be the best warm-up tool as far as it coped with the task to improve email deliverability after we intentionally spoiled it. Snovia also appeared to be the least costly in comparison with the closest competitors from the chart as far as Snovia tool's capabilities goes beyond email warm-up, and all that only for $39. The next step is find leads. So many people think that finding leads means to buy a database. Seems to be very easy, and you already think how many people out of this list you will convert. But let's put aside your future victories for a second, and the first thing you should think about whether there is any surprises in this list. And purchase lists may contain surprises you're not gonna like. Spam traps. Spam traps are the email addresses that are used by email service providers and blacklist operators to identify senders who aren't following email best practices. So the spam trap email addresses may have been used at a time, but now they are abandoned or invalid. These email addresses look exactly the same as the rest of the email addresses in your list, and with a first look, And even with the second, and even with the 100th look, you will not notice anything suspicious in your list. So you cannot use your eyesight to find out or to identify the spam trap email in your list. But sending emails to these email addresses is a direct way to spam folder, or even worse, to the blacklist. And believe me, to get out your email address from the blacklist is almost impossible. So the question here, would you put your email account and domain at risk or find leads on your own? And nowadays, it's not that hard to find leads if you have your ideal customer profile in mind or printed. There are plenty of tools that can help you do it. For example, Snovio. Snovio provides you a set of tools. You can find leads by having different entering data. You can find full prospect profiles with first and last name, email address, company name, location, experience, etc. on LinkedIn or any other website. All emails will be verified and you will have enough data to use it for personalization in your campaign. The next step is craft your converting email copy, you see? Let's look at this email. I know that you do not send such emails, and don't try to read the third and the fourth line. Just look at the email. Our focus is the general appearance, and share your impression of this email in the chat. Do you like this email? Do you think it's a normal email? Would you like to get such email to your inbox? Share your thoughts. Write bad, good, awesome, awful. Just put thumb up or thumb down. Tell me what you think about this email. First impression. I will wait for your answers. Do you like this email? Looks like spam, okay. Imagine that you already received such an email to your inbox. Okay, one more reaction. What do you think about this email? Your first impression. Yeah, you should not read the content, the general appearance of the email. I know that it's not that really cool, but then you will be able to download the PDF of this presentation and you can have a closer look. A phishing email. Okay, and now let's look at this email. So as far as you have fresh memories from the previous email, and you can now look at this one, compare these two emails, and in the chat type 1 or 2. Which email would you prefer to get to your inbox? Which email you consider normal? Which email would you read? Would you like to get? So choose 1 or 2. Okay. Great. We receive first good choices. It looks better. Good. And one more. Nice. Amazing. Thank you guys for your choices. So when it comes to composing an email, first and foremost, you need to remember that your emails should be short, clear, easy to read, and contain everything that is needed for your prospect to understand your offer. And it definitely needs to have a structure. So right now, we will take a look at the structure. Subject line, lead in, story, problem statement, benefits, CTA. Subject line is a vital element, and actually at the stage when your email gets to the inbox, it's the only one thing that matters, because it all depends on the subject line, whether it's compelling enough for your prospect to open your email. Lead in, story, or problem statement can be combined in one paragraph and should contain a hook to make your prospect read the rest of the email. Benefits. Benefits are the things your prospect will get from your offer, and do not mix it with features, because no one cares about the features you have. Remember, your prospects want to know how useful your offer will be to them. CTA is a clear call to action which will give your prospect a clear vision of the next step you expect them to make. This is the basic structure you can play with. In fact, there are a number of sales copywriting models that you can use, but what they all have in common is structure. And at this example that I showed you, I used question, value proposition, call to action model. Personalize. Personalize your emails. A personal touch allows you to make your prospect feel special. And who doesn't want to feel special? When a prospect sees a personalized offer, they cannot resist responding. Besides the fact that your prospect will like your personalized email, personalization will also help you pass the spam filter checkup. Follow-up. Right now, on the screen, you can see the example of the campaign with follow-ups. And actually, this is the example of the power of follow-ups. I pointed with the arrows the number of replies. So you can see each next follow-up on average generated 30 more replies from the prospects in this list. And besides having these kind of examples all over online, a lot of salespeople still send only one email, the introductory email, and that's it. And that's the hugest mistake you can ever make while doing your cold outreach. Now, you need to believe that your prospect will open your email right away and immediately respond to you. Well, actually, I cannot deny that this situation is possible. So your prospect can open the email, can even read the email, can even start typing the response to you. But your prospect can be easily distracted at any moment and close the tab and bye-bye. Completely forget about your offer. So one email is not enough. And here's where follow-ups will help us. You not only slightly remind your prospect about yourself and also nurture your prospects, helping them see the value of your product or service at the fullest. In cold outreach, consistency is a must. Your follow-ups also should be short and clear. And now we will take a look at the follow-up flow or follow-up structure. So day 1, send your initial cold email. Day 2, follow-up. Day 4, follow-up. Day 8, follow-up. Day 10, send a breakup email. Actually, this is the basics you can start with. 5 or 6 follow-ups. 5 or 6 follow-ups are considered enough by industry leaders, but it doesn't mean you cannot add more. Yes, you can add more because everything depends on your follow-up strategy you develop. No one but you know your target audience the best, and only you know how many touches you need to convert your prospects. And to figure out the best flow for you, experiment. Let people easily unsubscribe. So according to the sending regulations, you must have an unsubscribe link. But some people do not include the unsubscribe link to their emails with the belief that the prospect will respond to them. Maybe not to the first email, maybe not to the 6th email, but to the 15th email, they will. No, they won't. And if they do, you won't like the direction they will point to you in the message. Your task is to build trust with your prospect. Get them on a call and finally convert, but not to annoy them. Not everyone will like your offer. Not everyone will need your solution at this very moment. So your prospects need to have a right not to get emails from you. Otherwise, it will bring you troubles you do not want to have. Without the ability to unsubscribe, people will report your emails or mark them as spam. And I think you've already guessed. The more people complain, the more chances your emails go to spam or email account get blocked. In fact, unsubscribes should not scare you. Unsubscribes are a valuable metric in your campaign because if you have a lot of them, it may mean you target not the right audience. And your goal is not to target any kind of people. Your goal is to target your potential customers. And the unsubscribes may give you the hint that you need to prove your ideal customer profile. And then you improve it. And based on that, you will find the right leads and you will target the right leads that will like your offer, that will respond to your email, that will buy from you. And the next thing, educate yourself. It's good to use trial and error method. So create an email campaign, let's say for 20 leads you will collect, and launch it from the email account you are not afraid to lose. You can use the personalization or do not use it at all. You can send only one initial email or you can send a campaign with follow-ups. It's all up to you. The most important thing here is to start and analyze the results. And once you start, you will get the most valuable, the knowledge and experience. And then you will start looking for improvements. Because you yourself will be your motivation. You will find a lot of useful practices online on different resources like Kseniia YouTube channel, Kseniia blog. Also, you can attend different online courses or even have coach sessions with top industry leaders or experts. The most important thing here to never stop getting better. And if you had any doubts or concerns about starting outbound lead generation, but you always wanted, it's time. The time has come to try it. So scan the QR code that you can see right now on your screen and start your lead generation with Kseniia now. As I promised, at the bottom, you can see your reward because you survived this webinar. You did it good. You are amazing. So this is your reward, 30% off promo code for any monthly Kseniia plan. Also, I want to thank SendPulse for inviting me to this webinar. And I want to thank you, my little community, my little community of coffee lovers, that you watched this webinar. Thank you. And now I guess that we're gonna have a QA session. So if you have questions, you can ask in the chat. and I will wait a little bit. I do not know how many time I will wait. Maybe 1 minute, maybe not. Anyway, you will always find me on LinkedIn and ask questions after. You can also even ask questions under the stream after it ends. Okay. My shy audience. Okay, I think if no one, okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank all of you guys. You're welcome. Thank you for attending this webinar. I hope that you do not hear my colleagues talking. Okay, no questions. Anyway, you know what to do if you have questions. Find me on LinkedIn or ask the questions here under the stream. I will check the comment sections from time to time. Okay, so thank all of you and bye-bye. I will wait for your questions on LinkedIn or here under the stream. Have a good day.